Too lame. All right, hello and welcome to Speed Talk. Got Mike McGTV, YouTube sensation, and I'm Max, your three geeks liaison on the Flash. Now we're just gonna talk about the Flash season 2, episode 1. And break it down a little bit and tell you guys what we're thinking, how we're feeling on it. Mike, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. Feeling rested, and I gotta say, before we get into like bit by bit on the review of the Flash, it's good just to have kind of a nice comfort food type show like the Flash back.
Yeah, you don't expect too much out of shows coming off the CW, so I was very pleasantly surprised. It was season 1. I didn't. It never got so ridiculous that I couldn't watch, and it's good to have it back on. Also, I think this is one of the longer, like 23 episode kind of shows. So, and they split it up too. They take a break halfway through.
Yeah.
So it'll be on for a good long while, and we get to enjoy that. But. Yeah, this season I thought they decided to go full throttle. They start you 6 months after the events of the ending events of season 1, where the Flash battles a black hole, and you find out that there was a loss in the team. So you find out that Firestorm is no more, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be on Legends of Tomorrow. So
well, they've already. I think they're bringing in the other version of Firestorm where it's going to be Professor Stein and that college kid.
Okay.
So I think Ronnie is done for good.
Huh.
But
well, that'd be cool too.
Which is, I mean, that's cool, fine, because it's some kind of fine. It means like, yeah, even though it is a zany, wacky show that they're playing for high stakes and everything like that with characters dying, but it's just like it felt like we just got introduced to him fully, and then now
it's like, oh, he's dead. Oh, he's alive, but he's gone. Okay, he's back. Now he's dead.
I mean, they might do the whole Blackest Night thing. They'll bring him back in some way, shape, or form, and whatever.
No, I hope they keep him dead. Like, I mean, I'm not saying he was a bad actor or anything like that. He didn't bother me in any way, shape, or form, but
too many MLs on TV.
Like just kill him. Like have him be dead. Deal with it. It's like when they first killed Robin, like Jason Todd Robin, like dead. Then it had a little more weight.
Yeah, definitely. Or like what was it? Even to go along with like genre TV, like when Doyle died in the first season of Angel. And it's just like, well, he definitely ain't coming back. I mean, so
yeah.
But that was the thing. You learn to like the character, and then they're gone briefly. Like they're doing a Whedon type thing there, where it's like you learn to love a character, and then forget it. You'll never see them again.
Yep. I mean, at least it's not George R.R. Martin, where they die in the most horrible fashion possible, right in front of you.
Right.
But I thought so. Yeah, you get that bombshell dropped on you. Barry has been kind of working solo for about 6 months now, and there's going to be a big Flash Day event where they thank this whole city thanks the Flash, for just being an all-around good guy and saving them from black holes. And he's debating on whether to go, and everyone wants him to go, and of course, he decides to go at the last second, and then some supervillain attacks. And this time they were featuring the Atom Smasher, and I was not familiar with him before this episode, so it was just like,
From what I can recall, I'm not 100% about this, so if someone in the comments or something wants to correct me on this, you can. I believe the Atom Smasher was supposed to be like originally like the Golden Age version of the Atom before Ray Palmer's whole shrinking thing or whatever, and then like all I remember is that he was on Justice League Unlimited, like just in the background as a background character, but that he was a hero. I don't know if that's like his legit like origins or not. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, I thought that was kind of cool. Like, if that's the way they're going, because it's pretty clear like he was from a parallel Earth. After we're gonna get into spoilers, obviously, probably with this, but when he was kind of revealing, like, he promised that if I took care of you, I'd take you. If I took you out of commission, he'd take me home. And it's pretty obvious that home is like another dimension or something like that.
Or somewhere in this wacky, zany space-time continuum breaking show that we got going on here.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that they kind of like blew their wad as far as effects were concerned on this episode. I'm a little like scared that like next week is gonna be. I just want to see how chintzy it gets, you know, in the next couple weeks before they can have another like, you know, good budget episode.
Oh, you feel like they ate the difference with his whole size changing and everything like that.
Yeah. Like they were pretty effect happy on this one.
It'll be like what they used to do on Smallville, where they couldn't show off like any of the more elaborate superpowers. So his go-to was always super hearing, where he just has to stand there and you just hear all the noises.
Yep.
Like, instead of seeing him run around the city, you'll just cut to someone and he'll just be there automatically, and you'll hear the sound effect of him zooming in.
Yeah, I mean, like, no, having him run around the city is fine because all they have to do is a wide shot of the city and have a yellow line going through it.
Yeah,
that's easy. They'll have him run around something all day, but that's all he'll do. But no, I liked the episode. I thought that, you know, it was jam packed full of drama, and you know, you felt the weight of all this stuff, and you know, like I'm trying not to get too into the spoilers just yet, but what else is there to say? I mean, like, it's the Flash. There's not a lot. There's not a terrible lot of substance there.
Honestly, I don't know if we're spoiling too much that hasn't already been spoiled on a billion other news sites at this point.
That's true.
So we're kind of late in the game with the review because everyone IGN immediately had their review up last night, like an hour after. So.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, maybe we're classier than them, and we want people to see it.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, regardless, you're gonna have fun with it anyway. Because here's my whole deal: is that like, it's a CW show. Yeah, it embraces a certain level of dumb, but it's really well done for the most part, and it is just a good time. And here's where I kind of contradict with other stuff I've said about other shows because of the fact that it is a different type of show. This show is wholeheartedly about embracing every aspect of superhero comic books in a way. Like, it acknowledges that what it's tackling is silly deep down, but it does it in a very fun and entertaining way, and it can take it seriously. And it's taking it seriously that makes it work, but not like to the point that it's like dead serious, like Christopher Nolan dead serious. It's got a sense of fun about it.
Even Arrow, I think, doesn't work as well as Flash does. So I mean, like,
nah.
So yeah, definitely to make your point. I should really not have this on there. What is this one? Okay, yeah, that works. We can do that. But
I'm just reading your caption right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely wrote that earlier at some point in time.
Okay.
What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so he's fighting the Atom Smasher. They did, they did go a little effect crazy on this one. I feel like they're just trying to, get you that wow factor. They're like, yeah, this is something that, this is what you can look forward to. And I really enjoyed the episode. It everything went right along. It was good. It picked right up from last season. If you hadn't watched season 1 at all, I think you'd be okay just hopping right in.
Yeah, I think so. I definitely think so. And that's what I was actually kind of wondering too. It's like, what about for someone who didn't really stay through all of season 1 and was just kind of picking up as a regular viewer now? It's like, it does a good job of, it does the recap like all the shows do, but at the same time, it doesn't lose momentum, so to speak. Like here's a good example of, like I'm saying, the show is able to kind of keep a good pace because of the fact that, like, yeah, he's a brooding loner for, like, I want to say 80% of this episode, and it's implied that he's been that way for about 6 months now. You don't need to have a multi-episode story arc with him working his way out of his funk, so to speak. It's like it gets resolved really quick at the end, or not really quick at the end, but it gets resolved within the episode. The status quo is back to normal. Everyone's back on the team and everything like that. Different dynamic with regards to his dad and everything like that. And that was about the only point where I'm kind of like, oh, well, this is just a way for them to not have to have John Wesley Shipp get paid all the time now. Like it did definitely feel like kind of an abbreviated like out for that character without getting into too much detail. But at the same time, I'm like, it worked because they got great chemistry together as father and son. Like everyone feels really natural with each other at this point in the show, that you don't care that Barry's just going to be doing it alone for 5 episodes before someone slaps sense into him. Like they give him tough love in this episode really quick, and he bounces back because Barry's not Batman. He's not Arrow. He's not supposed to be that dark and brooding. He's optimistic. And it reminded me a lot of like stuff I did like about Smallville. Now Smallville is kind of a mixed bag for me. There's stuff about it I enjoy. There's stuff about it I loathe, absolutely, and I'll probably do a video series about that. But
you go, man. No fly zone for Smallville.
No fly zone. One aspect that kind of emulated really well was the fact that every season, you know, characters would kind of be in a different position than what they were, but then it wouldn't take forever for you to get them to, you know, reset, as it were.
Normality.
Yeah, to go back into a status quo that would be familiar to a regular viewer. It's like, and that's what this first episode in this new season did for me. I'm like, oh, cool, let's just hit the ground running again, literally, because they've got a whole bunch of ideas on the way from the looks of who they want to have on the show, what they're going to do, how they're going to tie into the Legends of Tomorrow, and, the big bad, who may or may not be someone we've seen already, but I'm not sure what they're going to do with that.
I think they're going with, like, they're going to use a different actor. It's not going to be Ed TV.
Oh, it's not going to be Ed.
I can't remember his name right now.
Tom Cavanaugh.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead. Jinx, buy me a Coke, man.
All right, I owe you one.
That's what I feel is going to be missing from the show if he's not a regular. For those who follow, if he's coming back or not in some way, shape, or form, I'm kind of curious about that. Just because, because he was, for the first season, one of the more entertaining aspects of that show. There were other entertaining aspects. He definitely was a highlight for that show for me in the first season, and it's just like, I wonder what they're going to try to do to fill in the void.
I think it's going to be more because they have the old professor guy there. I think he's going to take that kind of spot where, you know, he's your mentor, your kind of like sounding board for, you know, whatever problems you might have. And they can also throw the wife in there now too, to be more, you know, like the nurturing side of things and blah, blah, blah. I mean, like, they got some characters, I feel, you know, that'll round it out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I heard that they're not having him back just because they're going to kind of go another way with the Professor Zoom character. Or they're actually just calling him Zoom so far.
Like, they don't know what he is yet. Like, they don't even know if it's like a person or something.
So, yeah, that's cool. That was kind of like the only real, like, big reveal as far as the rest of the season. Because, like, I know, obviously, last season was the first season, so everything was, like, shiny and new. But, like, I feel like they had a lot of the Easter eggs kind of deals where you're looking for this and that. You see the Gorilla Grodd cage bust open,
mm-hmm.
you know, and then they don't mention that for another 7 or more than that episodes. Like way down in the season, they started messing around with Gorilla Grodd again.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't catch too much this time.
Well, they had immediate payoff with the Easter egg from the finale last season with the Golden Age helmet.
Yeah.
Like that got immediate payoff at the end of this episode.
Well, I mean, but like I feel like that was also kind of a weak reveal, you know? Because no one knows who Jay Garrett is if you don't read the comic books.
That's true. Yeah.
And so like, you know, he's like, hey, I'm Jay Garrett, and everyone was like, who the hell is that? You know, I mean, I know who it is, but
I think that's definitely the showrunners like giving diehard fans, or at least as diehard as we are for the Flash, like a little extra like incentive. Like people, it's always the last second reveal is always the best part of the show for me, because it's like, oh damn it, now I have to watch next week.
Yeah.
Like even if it was a week episode, the last 30 seconds always seems to make up for it. And I'm just like,
I just think it would be better if he was like, "Who are you? I'm the Flash."
mm-hmm.
And then like next week you're like, "Wait a minute, how are you the Flash person?" And he's supposed to be like old. I wanted like an old guy to play Jay Garrett. Like,
oh,
they did that CW thing where he's way too young.
He's older for the CW.
Yeah. I mean, like,
as in he's in his 40s or late 30s at most.
I don't think he's older than the Flash's dad.
Nah, I don't think so.
Like,
that's a good point. Yeah, Barry's dad is probably like the professor is definitely the oldest person on that show.
Yeah,
but he's only like what 50 something, or from the looks of it.
I mean, yeah, I feel they should have got a more late 40s looking kind of guy than like a mid to late 30s looking kind of guy.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, it all depends on how they're going to approach the character. Like, is he a retired version, or is he still active? Like back when he was, what we assume is the Golden Age Flash in his prime or whatever. And who knows?
Yeah.
I'm interested. That's the important thing.
That's true. I'm definitely excited to see next week. I feel like it's right back in there. They gave you everything you're looking for. And it was a good show. I mean, past the obvious little, like it's a bit melodramatic or whatever you want to say. Like, yeah,
there's some melodrama going on.
It's a bit teenage, but it's a fun. Yeah, like it keeps saying, it's a fun show, and they do keep dropping all these huge nods to the fans. Like they know who freaking butters their bread. Like,
yep.
And I can appreciate that.
Yeah, me too, definitely. And I'm glad they kind of that one change. There's one cosmetic change to the costume that I thought was going to be kind of like this is going to be when he finally earns the title of the Flash, as it were, when he changes up his logo. And I'm like, oh, it's immediate. Cool. It's like they're, because the idea was that was set in the future, far down the line. But now, nope, it's going to happen right now. It's a very minor cosmetic change, but the way they go about explaining it in the show, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, it's like at that point though, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, I mean,
why? Yeah, someone was like, why fight the future? Or someone was like, well, I guess.
Sure, why not? He's got all of his official Flash regalia. We're happy to see him. They're not going to pull the Daredevil where it takes him forever to get in the suit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even in the first season, they had that suit. It was like second episode.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah,
they had him in the fire suit. So, I mean, yes. Overall, Flash good. I'm gonna give it, I don't know, a 6 out of 10 because I mean, obviously it's on the CW, so you can't rate it too high. But I do have a lot of fun watching the show, and I don't want people to think that the 6 is really a bad thing. It's just a realistic thing.
It's on the positive side of that half, yeah.
There you go.
Honestly, because I'm writing a review for the series for the season premiere on NeverEndingRadicalDude.com, or I've written it. It should be up there pretty soon, but I gave it a high score, definitely, just because it's one of those shows where I wasn't frustrated. Like, again, it is comfort food for me right now because I fully wholeheartedly embrace that there's going to be stupid moments in the show, but that's just because that's the nature of the show in and of itself. It's not being stupid on account of lazy writing as it would be on other shows. Or, like I mentioned, certain other comic book shows that I know get you mad, but that where it's like they have no idea really what they're trying to do with the show. Flash knows full well what they're doing with that show, and they're just going for broke with it. And I'm not going to hold it against them if they're going to be kind of dumb, because it's a dumb concept all around, but it's how much you embrace that level of dumb and have fun with it.
I agree, because even when you compare it to Arrow, like Arrow doesn't have a set, like the first season they had the tone that they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was their strongest season. then after that, you can see where they're really trying to fit it to something else, and they're getting better and better, but it's not really working because they don't know for sure what they want to do.
After catching up on some of last season of Arrow, it is becoming a stereotypical kind of CW show now from what it was originally. It's becoming Shipper's Paradise, and it might be the way Flash goes eventually. I don't know, just because it says Flash's sophomore season. But yeah, you could definitely kind of feel like people wanted certain romantic things or dramatic things to take place in the end in that character development for me, from what I'm witnessing in it. I'm just like, I don't care about this, but the show is telling me I should.
Yep. And I mean, like, the whole thing about Arrow is it's got the weaker story, but the better action, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, that's take it or leave it or whatever. But I'll be watching that today when it comes on. And like,
have fun. Domesticated Ollie. Have fun with that.
We'll see how that goes. But, I mean, when we left him last, he was like the head of a secret ninja organization, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was the next. That's the other thing. They couldn't decide to call him Raish or Raz or something.
Yeah.
That kind of irritated me a little bit too. I'm like, just pick one of them.
Nah, dude. Nah, you got to keep your options open.
Well, it's one thing if it's like they're just calling him Raz in like the Batman movies. It's at least they stuck with that. But like his pronunciation of his name would literally change from character to character. Like no one knew. Like there was no edict from the show producers to be like, no, stick with this pronunciation.
Yeah, dude, no, like, because one of them's got a Boston accent, so he says Raish, but the other one's got like a California accent, so he says Raz.
Raz Al Ghul. Or
he's from Omaha or some shit. But anyway.
Join us in the League of Assassins. I don't know.
I'm losing you. You're breaking up on that one.
It's okay. It was a joke that didn't land. It's all good.
All right. Well, on that bad joke, I think that's going to do it for the first speed talk there.
I like that title.
All right, good. Awesome. I didn't want to call it Flashpoint. I figured that was stealing too much.
Yeah, it's a little too much on the nose.
But anyway, cool. Speed Talk it is. This is the inaugural episode for the inaugural season episode. And Mike and I both agree it is definitely worth the watch. So catch us next time after you catch the next Flash.